Once upon a time, in a town not so big, where animals could talk, and in houses they lived, there was a farmer, his wife, and their 3 little kids. Not boys and a girl, but 3 little pigs. The pigs' family farm wasn't livestock or crops, no fruits, no vegetables. Instead, they grew pot. For years and years, their green thumbs were honed, until it came time for them to be on their own. They kissed their mom goodbye, so sad to see them leave. Their proud father smiled and gave them each seeds. Then their parents said this: "The 3 of you take care, live happily, build wisely, and always beware. There is a danger in this town, we want you to know, that wants to control who can and can't grow. Stay on the tip, not the heel of your hoof, or else you'll be eaten by the big, bad wolf." So, off the 3 went to explore their endeavors. The oldest, the sister, suggested they all live together. But her 2 brothers scoffed. They moaned and they groaned. "We've always lived together. We should all live alone." With that declaration, the 3 separate to go find places to grow and build their estates. The first little pig, within that same week, wanted to finish quickly and play games in chief, and built a flimsy house made out of keef. But the aroma was so strong, guess who it woke from his sleep? The big bad wolf, who said, "Something smells yummy. I'll smoke it all up and then fill my tummy with whoever dares grow without my permission. I'll use them as an example so others will listen." Following his nose, the wolf couldn't believe his eyes. A house made of keef with a plump pig inside? He knocked on the door, salivating with a grin, growling, little pig, let me in. I want all your weed and to munch on your skin." The little pig was frightened, but refusing to bend, saying, "Not by the hairs on my cannabis stems." The angry wolf howled with a terrifying sound. "Then I'll huff and I'll puff and I'll smoke your house down." Well, the wolf did just that, and it didn't take much. The little pig's house of keef was gone in one puff. The little pig ran clear across the country. The big bad wolf was high and now had the munchies. He ate a whole horse and a cow, but as he took off his bib, he couldn't stop thinking about some barbecue ribs. So he packed his seasonings, his knife, and his fork, and set out to track down that pot piggy pork. The wolf hunted him for weeks, but couldn't find where he was. Then one day he happened on a house made of bud. The wolf was so happy, he felt he would burst. There were 2 pigs inside, the second plumper than the first. He banged on the door with ferocious adrenaline, demanding, little pigs, let me in. I want to get high and munch on some twins." The second pig yelled, "Mr. Wolf, you're all wind, so not by the hairs on my cannabis stems." See, the second little pig took a much different route. Unlike his brother, he'd spent weeks on his house. So he had no worries when the wolf came around, until he huffed and he puffed and smoked his house down. Well, the pigs were astounded. It took just 2 puffs. By the time the wolf exhaled, the house was just dust. The little pigs knew the wolf was way beyond buzzed. So now's the perfect time to run or end up his grub. The little pigs ran as fast as they could, way up top of the country, surrounded by woods. The wolf was so high he ate for weeks without sleep, while constantly thinking about one specific feast. But every time he thought it, there's a lump in his throat. Those pigs were the best pot that he'd ever smoked. And if he ate them, he may never find weed that good again. The wolf contemplated for months as he hunted for them. One day he saw a huge house that stopped him in his tracks, made of CBD oil and THC extract. The wolf was in awe. He smiled with a sigh. and lo and behold, 3 pigs were inside. The 2 little pigs that he called the twins, and a third that wasn't little, but just as big as him. The wolf tapped on the door, but not for a feast. He didn't want to just smoke. He also wanted peace. The pigs exclaimed to their sister, "It's a trap! Don't let him in! He tried to eat us before, and he'll surely try again!" The sister pig smiled. The wolf continued to pound. "You can't get in, Mr. Wolf, or smoke my house down!" Whatever cool the wolf had, he now just lost it. "If you don't want to make peace, then I'll make pork chops and sausage. Turn your bones into a bong and use it till it's brown. After huffing and puffing and smoking your house down." The wolf huffed and he puffed and he tried his best to smoke, but after one puff, the wolf started to choke. But still he tried, and he tried, and he tried, and he tried. His strength was getting low, but he was really, really high. Unwilling to quit, he tried to climb down the chimney. But the wiser sister pig had outsmarted their enemy. He fell right into a cauldron of boiling water used for remedies. He howled in pain, but the pigs felt no sympathy. For the town's serial bully, thief, killer, and smoker, the bad wolf's reign of terror was over, and the whole town celebrated with a 420 festival and broiled to perfection pot pig wolf edible. As the whole town enjoyed their victorious meal, all the animals with afflictions started to heal. And with no more wolf to leave them trembling at the knees, the townsfolk flourished, using cannabis as they pleased. And the 3 pot pigs became heroes of the town, using cannabis to heal those far, near, and around. So the moral of this story is what can grow and be planted is a birthright for us all that shouldn't have to be granted.